Hello and welcome to our continuing coverage on Budget 2024. And joining us now is Dr. Anish Shah, the President of FICCI, the Group CEO and Managing Director of Mahindra Group. Welcome to the show, Dr. Shah. Your first key takeaways, this budget ticking all the boxes as far as employment, job growth, education, and related matters is concerned, Dr. Shah.
We see it as a positive one. In addition to what you said, we see a strong fiscal discipline as well. So it really provides for continuity, for stability, and it essentially lays out a path for the economy to grow along the lines of what's been outlined in Viksit Bharat. And that augurs very well for industry.
Dr. Shah, what could this budget have as an impact as far as rural consumption is concerned? You understand the rural market very well from the industry that you represent, but the broader impulses that this budget may have generated for the rural economy, what would you call them?
So the focus on the agri sector overall to help drive greater value creation is a positive. And what we like about this budget is that it has not gone down the path of various populist measures. It is really focused on driving long-term growth. Yes, there's an element of demand stimulus that has come in form of the reduction in income tax. That doesn't directly impact the agri segment, but on a broader basis, that's a positive. And therefore, we feel it's a very good budget that will really allow us as a country and an economy to go on the path that we have outlined.
I wonder if you have any thoughts on the entire issue of private sector investment. That's been a theme even beyond the budget. The economic survey also reflected on that. What does today's budget do for encouraging corporate India to continue to up capacity utilization and put in fresh investments?
As you rightly said, in a capitalist economy, private investment comes in when there's greater demand, when capacity utilization is higher, and therefore that is the trigger for greater investments. What we have seen in the FICCI manufacturing survey that was released recently as well, we're seeing capacity utilization go up across multiple industries, and nearly half of FICCI members have indicated that they are in the process of raising investments, and that will be a sign towards private investment going up. And it essentially follows. So in many ways, the greater push that the government had on capex over the last 2 or 3 years is now resulting in a higher demand, and that demand is driving greater private sector capex to come in.
I want to focus on the farm sector, which you touched upon. What is different in this budget as far as the farm sector is concerned? Because not only is that necessary for the economy, but it's also a broader political economy issue for the government.
So again, the primary difference there is the focus on enhancing value in the agri segment. And that's going to be a positive for the farm sector. We are, in fact, in some ways, positive that it wasn't a set of populist initiatives that were announced, because those are often short-term and the multiplier effect on that is far lower than what is outlined in the focus on capex, on infra, on roads, and various other related areas.
Dr. Shah, you represent the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, but one of the budget proposals also has reduced partially the income tax differential between foreign companies in India and domicile Indian companies. How do you view that move?
So it should always be a level playing field for everyone who manufactures in India. Our view is that India should be the manufacturing hub of the world, and the government should make it easier for everyone to do business. It should help reduce the cost of manufacturing in India, and a number of steps are taken in that direction. And that's something that augurs well for the economy overall.
Dr. Shah, it seems that the concessional rate of corporate tax for new manufacturing that had been announced, that sunset clause of 31st March 2024 has been allowed finally to sunset. Is that going to be a disappointment for certain companies?
Well, if that was the only factor that was driving companies to come into India to set up, then that shouldn't be the case. The broader aspect of foreign tax being reduced or tax for foreign corporates being reduced, I think probably offsets that to some extent. For a lot of existing companies that are in India already and have manufacturing facilities set up, it doesn't impact them either. So on balance, again, it comes back to a level playing field.
Would you have wanted more on PLI? Perhaps there can also be outside budget announcements, but do you think more was needed as far as PLI was concerned?
This is something that we do feel will happen outside the budget. And in some ways, I think the government is going towards a regime where the budget is not the only economic event of the year, but there are a number of things that happen through the year. We do expect FAME 3 to come in as something that takes over from FAME 2. FAME 2, we felt, was very successful in jump-starting, in particular, the three-wheeler industry, because it's gone from 0% to 20% electric in a very short time frame. And it probably needs an incentive for one more period of 3 years before it can get independent on its own. And it's an industry we expect will get to 100% electric if it continues on its current trajectory by 2030 or so. So that's one thing that we would expect coming through, and there may be a few others.
One final question, and you alluded to this in your first answer, but the question I have for you is that the government has stuck to its fiscal consolidation path. That's good news in some ways, although the markets reacted negatively to capital gains taxation changes. Would industry fear that the government may eventually pull back from doing the heavy lifting for growth?
So far, at least, we've seen multiple budgets where it has been growth focused. And in fact, that gives us more confidence that this path of continuity, of stability, will be the path that we take in future as well, especially coming with the new government and some of the political realities. It is very heartening to see a budget that continues on this growth path.
All right, Dr. Shah, I'll leave it at that. Busy day for you as well. Hope to see you again. Viewers, this was Dr. Anish Shah, President of FICCI, giving us a quick take on the Union Budget 2024-25. We'll be back with more. Until then, goodbye.